Hi, good morning, everyone. Right. Next, we are going to start with email templates. Now, see, Salesforce have a default functionality called email integrations. Now, what is this functionality is all about, and what is that kind of facility what we get with this? Let's first of all discuss that. And then we would come to, how many different types of templates and their details and their technical things and all that. First of all, let's understand what this functionality is all about. See, um, we might receive so many different automated emails. Everyone of probably have seen the kind of emails that are, system generated. And this is a system generated email and do not reply. So these are some of the kinds of email that usually every one of us would receive. And reason would be like you probably have subscribed with some of a kind of services where knowingly or unknowingly you have you subscribe to that, you agree to the kind of emails that these websites, these application would deliver you. And these are all about like kind of marketing purpose, right? These are kind of marketing purpose. So there are so many good applications that usually deliver you, usually send you this a kind of emails that are being generated from the system. Now we have gone through this statement so many times that this email is being generated from system. This is a system generated email, right? But let's now talk about how exactly these emails are being fired. What is that rule and what is that way to fire an email without involving any human being for that? Rather, design a process, design an automation in such a way that whenever you are expecting that email to be get triggered, to be get fired, it would automatically would going to be happen. So this facility is also there in Salesforce. And this is a part of your marketing cloud as well as a part of business automation tool. So being a part of business automation tool, Salesforce give you this facility that you could design certain different types of email and you could make them to be get fired automatically. You can design an automation and whenever you wanted this email should be get fired, it would automatically going to be fired. See, while whenever, what is, if I ask like, uh, the most promising way of this written communication with your customer these days are what? So there's only one answer for this is that is an email. Or what is that prominent way of official communication these days? That is again an email. Because see, when we talk about keeping our customers updated regarding certain, or maybe like you being a shop owner, probably you come up with certain new deals of product and you wanted this to be get informed to your customers. What that is a marketing purpose, of course. So what you can do would be like, you can send an email. You can send an email and you can inform that this is something, being an end of season or maybe due to this particular festival going on, we are having this much of, we are providing you these deals. So that would be a marketing purpose, sales purpose, right? The another could be like, if somebody has, for example, let me try with some of my emails. Like, I just wanted to relate this with sales, service, and marketing cloud, nothing else. Right. So you put your vehicle for servicing. You put your vehicle for servicing, and And they would inform you, like, they would inform you that these are the, I'm not sure what email ID I have given to them, but then I've given my car for servicing. So at the time of, from till the time I book my servicing till the time to the time of delivery, they periodically fired me certain different 2 to 3 emails, and they inform and they keep me updated that what exactly is the process and progress which is going on. So I find in that, yeah, this is something good. You are keeping, they are keeping you updated on what is going on with, right? So basically, email is that prominent way, email is that prominent way by which you could initiate a good communication. Though it's related to sales process, it is related to service, it is related to marketing, it is related to handling the cases, so it is related to, allotment of leads or something, whatever. But email is that, what I could say is the way of initiating communication between you and your customer, from business to business, from business to client, right? From employee to their managers, from managers to their employees, whatever. So one way is like, uh, you can draft it, manually, but that would obviously require a lots of efforts and lots of time. And another way could be like, we can make an automation process, and that would work, as and when it is required to fire the email, as and when it is required to fire the email. So Salesforce have this facility, a default facility, an out-of-box functionality, a built-in functionality called as email integration. So that means you could design inside by using a Salesforce CRM. By using a Salesforce CRM, we can automate this process, and we can automate that the email should be get fired on that. But for example, if let's say you are holding lots of a customer database with you, and you wanted to greet them with an email on their birthday, on their anniversary, something like that, right? So while creation of that record, when the customer record has been created, maybe inside contact or accounts, whatever, so you could design an automation in such a way that whenever a birthday comes, whenever an anniversary date comes of for that particular customer, we could fire an email and we could greet them, okay, congratulations on this particular day, right? So we don't require to keep track. We don't require to have somebody who is going to keep track of all these dates around the year, right? Rather, we could design an automation, and that automation automation by itself would work in a way that whenever that particular date come, it's going to fire an email. So this is one of the good way, like, and what the customer would feel ki you are like, how much you are what to say and how to say, how much you are aware, how much you are interested in their, and you are wishing them on their birthdays, you are wishing them on their anniversaries, maybe on the Thanksgiving days, on the New Year's, on the Diwali, Dashera, Eid, whatever. So that would help you, that would help you to build up a good rapport, a good relationship with your customers, with your stakeholders, with your employees, with your managers, right? That would help it out. Because see, when you wish somebody, when you greet somebody, it makes a good impression. So this is one of a very important, email integration is one of a very important way to maintain a good relations, right? To maintain a good relations with your customers, with your stakeholders, your business partners, everybody. So that is what Salesforce actually provides this as a functionality. Now we would, after this topic, email template, we would going, the next topic would be your business automation tools. And we are going to learn 3 different tools for that: workflows, process builders, and the flows. And flow rather would be a type, it would be a topic of lightning, but I shall cover that as well, because these days workflow and process builder, they are becoming obsolete. Flow is something that everybody is using right now. So I'll make you aware about few of general flows, but that actually is a part of lightning, because whenever you create a flow, it would take lightning experience, and we cannot create it onto the classic environment. Yes, but I'll make you aware of that, don't worry. So After this topic, I mean, the next topic, what I would be taking is business automation. What are the different types of automations in Salesforce? Actually, there are 3 to 4 types. When we consider non-coding, there are 3. When we consider coding, there is triggers. So trigger also is a way of automating the process. But let's talk about non-coding only. There are 3 ways in Salesforce. There are 3 different ways in Salesforce by which you can design an automation: workflows, process builders, and flows. So during that course of time, when we were learning workflows, maybe process builder or maybe flows, that time we actually would design this automate process, how the email would going to fire automatically on that. But for this, there is a prerequisite. For learning that, there is a prerequisite. You must be aware about something called as email templates. All right. And that is the reason this topic, I'm taking this topic, I mean, prior to what we are going to learn called as business automation. All right. So this is the reason why we are learning templates. Now let's come to the topic itself. What is a template, by the way? So when this word template in technology, it describes a certain kind of design, a certain kind of format. If, for example, if there is a fixed format of doing something, we used to call that this is the template you have to follow. This is the template you have to follow. Why? Because there is a fixed set of designs. Now, this template word actually would represent some sort of predefined designs. This template word actually represent there are few predefined things. There are few predefined kind of designs. And when you build up something of that product, you have to select the same design. You cannot build their own type. This is something which is fixed. There might be few more options for that, but ultimately you have to select one of them. So template actually represents what? Template represents some predefined designs of a particular thing. You know, it could be anything. When we talk about email templates, we are talking about like how many different types of emails, how many different ways you could fire an email, right? So there, that basically is what an email template is. So this is what we are going to learn. Now, again, there are 2 different types of them, standard and custom. Standards are those that obviously is already there. Let me try to show you that. And custom email template would be something you are going to build. अभी जो हम लोग जो create करेंगे, that every entity, that every email template, what we are going to create would be a custom email template. But first of all, let me try to show you like in the standard ones. So I'll go with setup and administrator, and I go with communication templates. This, when you expand this, you can see a link called as classic email templates. If you make a click onto this, these are some of the standard email templates. These are some of the standard email templates. Like if I make a click on marketing, product inquiry response. Now this is an email template. Dear lead, thank you for inquiry about this particular, again, what products, and a representative will contact you shortly. Now this we haven't created, but Salesforce, you know, as a part of, as a part of help to understand how does a template looks like to be, Salesforce has given us few of the standard templates. You know, these are some of the standard templates. Dear contact person, all of us at this particular company are glad to have you as a customer, and I would introduce myself as the account manager and whatever. So these are what? These are some of the standard templates, right? They are present inside this folder called unfiled public classic email template folder. Now, before going further with this, let me explain you one fact that, see, every email template, though it's in a standard or maybe a custom email template, that must always reside inside a folder. That must always present inside a folder. Like all these email templates, whatever you can see right now, these are standard. If you built up something like, if you create a new template, right? If you create a new template, it would, at the time of saving, it would ask you on which folder you wanted me to save this template. So any email template must always reside inside a folder. Folders again are of 2 types. Standard, these 2 are standard folders. Unfiled public classic email template and my personal email template. I'm going to talk to you about the differences between them as well. First, let me finish with the concept. So there are, the first thing is like, you know, every email template must always be present. Every email template must always be present inside a folder. There are again 2 types of folders, standard and custom. What you can see right now is that these two are the standard folders, unfiled public classic email and my personal email template. These two are the standard folders. Let me create our own custom folders, right? There's a link, create a new folder. I'm creating one new folder. Let me give the name as 208 HR email templates. This is the name. This is the name I'm giving, right? Now, as you can see, public folder access, I'll talk about this. I will talk about, there are two different kinds of access, read only, read write. I'll talk about this. Don't worry. Don't worry. By default, it's read only. If you can make it read write as well. But what does it means by read only and read write? We're going to talk about this, right? And this folder is accessible to all user. This folder is hidden from all user. Nobody can access. I can access only. If I make this, everybody could access. Everybody could access. If I make this, if I select the second option, it would make it hidden for all of the users except me. I could only access. I would be the only person who would have the access. But we merely don't want. If you go with this, you can select which users could access, which users could access. Individually, if you wanted to select that few of them should access, few of them should not access. So based on based on the roles and internal, external, subordinate, public groups. Now, what are these terms? You would going to learn them in security. Security would be a topic where we are going to discuss about public groups, queues, roles, role hierarchies, internal and external subordinates, and everything. But this third option is for selecting users to whom we wanted to give the access. We'll go with the first option and we'll make it accessible for everybody, right? And once everything you see that you have given the name and all that, and you decide what level of access, read only, and I'll save it. So we are now have one more folder, and this folder is a custom folder, right? One second. Yeah. So okay, that was the first thing. That was the first technical thing. Okay. All the email templates must always be present inside a folder, right? So folders are of two type, standard and the custom. Now, this is something you created a folder called 208 HR email template. So obviously this is a custom folder. Now, these two are standard folders. These two are standard folders. You can see that there's a standard folder called unfiled public classic email and my personal email template. Now, what is the difference between these two? The difference is that whatever the email templates that are present inside this folder, unfiled public classic email, this could be accessed by any user. This could be accessed by any user. All right. This could be accessed by any user. And if you have some email templates that are there inside my personal email template, let me try to transfer one of them. You could understand. Let me try to transfer one of them. So I'll make it edit and I would be transferring this. I would be transferring this from unfiled to my personal email. Let me save this. So what would happen now would be like, see, any email template which is there inside unfiled public classic email template folder that is available for all of the users inside the organization. Anybody could have an access. But things, the templates that are there inside my personal email template can only be accessed by you. If you have logged in as a training batch 208 user, if somebody else would make a login, he cannot access this. This is private folder. So if there are any such kind of an email template which you wanted only to get access, you can put it inside my personal email template folder, right? And if you have created your custom folder, then you could decide what should be the level of access for other users. If somebody else would have an access, so what he can do, reading only or read write, or you wanted this folder to be get accessible even by the users or not, you make it hide, then you are the only person. If you are making it accessible for everyone, you can select the first. If you wanted to select a particular set of users, those who could access that, you can, for this, you have to select the third option. And accordingly, you could select who is going to have an access onto this folder, right? So that is what actually it means. All right. So this was one thing. This was one thing. Now, the second thing, before going this, there are four different types of templates. There are four different types of templates. Plain text HTML by using a letterhead. HTML by using non-letterhead, I mean without using letterhead or HTML programming, and then Visual Force template. So out of these four types, three of them I would cover right now. The fourth one is absolute. And moreover, if you wanted to learn Visual Force template, first of all, you should have an understanding about Visual Force programming. And that's a part of development. So obviously I cannot cover this right now, right? So what we are going to do would be, out of these four templates, we are going to learn three of them. Plain text HTML with using letterhead, again HTML without using letterhead by using HTML programming. So these are the three. I mean, there are four although, but we are going to learn three of them. All right. So what does plain text and what does HTML looks like to be? Let me try to show you first of all. Not this one. Even not this one. All right. See this email. How does it looks like to be? Now, this is something called as a plain text email. Whenever you wanted to initiate a formal discussion, whenever we wanted to initiate a formal discussion, maybe a school wanted to inform something to their children, their parents, the college wanted to inform something to their students, management wanted to inform something to their employees. So there is some sort of formal discussion. There is some sort of formal thing that we wanted to send in a form of an email. So in that case, the email template, the design, what is followed is something called as plain text. To design that something is followed that time is called as plain text. See how does it looks like to be plain text, right? There are no images. There are no, I could say would be like, colorful sort of things. It is simple. Keep it simple. So this a kind of email template where, we can see that it's a plain text. I mean, there is no images, and then the headers and the footers, what. So that type of email template, it is called as what? It is called as plain text email. All right. That is the first type. Second could be like this. There is an image with some of the hyperlinks, some of the action buttons. All right. Some of the action buttons are there, right? I mean, if you make a click over here, something is going to be happen, right? More to marketing. I mean, when somebody has to do the marketing, so he would follow this a kind of email template. As you can see, this is an hyperlink, right? This is an hyperlink. You make a click, something would going to be happen, right? Like this, right? So basically, this kind of email, which looks a little more attractive, which is having certain images, hyperlinks, colorful text, or maybe text in a different fonts, that kind of email template, they are being categorized into HTML by using a letterhead. So HTML by using letterhead mostly being used by an organization with their own letterhead, with their own design. I mean, if you get any email, for example, with a Naukri or maybe Monster, let me try with Monster. So they are having their own, they are having their own fixed. See, this is what a fixed template. I mean, whatever, I could say that this is the header section, the above one, this one. This one is their header section. It would never change. Even the footer would never change. Let me show you the footer as well. So if you go and scroll it, this is the footer. This would again never change. This would again never change. So headers and footers, they are always constant. For every email, this is something which is constant. What it get changed would be like, the body part. Dear Kasim, there is an urgent opening for this and all that. right? So this kind of email template, is called as letterhead, email HTML letterhead, right? So mostly with mostly with the organization, those who wanted to do certain brandings, those who wanted to do certain marketing purpose they are having, they usually go with this second type of template, and that is by using a letterhead. The third is custom without using a letterhead. Without using a letterhead. Now, when for example, I wanted to send certain things to a secured email ID, maybe an Outlook account, right? Or maybe a bank's, I mean, somebody who's a bank employee, right? Any financial organization, if they are having their own domain email ID. So what happens is, like, these email IDs are secured email IDs, and they are having something called as their own firewalls, email firewalls. So if you try to send an email which is having certain images, certain hyperlinks, and you try to send it to Outlook, or maybe you try to send it to some secured email ID, that time that email automatically goes to spam, and receiver would not receive it. Why? Because that email considered to be a suspicious one. An email server, that firewall, would consider this as a threat, as a phishing attack. So he would not consider this email as a genuine email, and that is the reason that goes to spam. That goes to spam. It would not come to inbox. It would not come to inbox. So in that case, if I wanted to send an email, the better option is go with plain text. Go with plain text. But if you wanted, plain text doesn't make an email to be look like more attractive. So if you wanted email to be an attractive email, but at the same time you cannot use images and all that, then the only option left with you is custom with using HTML programming. So these are the three different scenarios, and based on that, we are going to learn three different types of email templates. All right, these are three different types of email templates what we are going to learn. All right. So let me now start with plain text by today, because there would be two versions of that: static data, dynamic data. Static data and dynamic data. So I'll going to finish the static part when everything is hard coded, when everything, the content and everything has been hard coded, and by tomorrow again we'll learn plain text itself is. But that would be how to fetch the data dynamically from the Salesforce object. Right. So let me first of all go with a plain text email template. And let me show you how to fire this manually. First of all, later on, we would going to learn automated process for this. We're going to learn workflows, process builders and flows and everything. And then we're going to see how automatically this email is being fired. But for this right now, for this topic, for the testing purpose, we would going to fire it manually. Anyways, so let me go with this uses. Configure an email template to notify a customer upon raising a case. Upon raising a case. All right. So let's say that if a customer goes to case object, I mean, customer obviously would not going to case object. There is a proper channel to do this, something called as case assignment rule. You would going to learn that as well. You would going to learn that as well. Assignment rules. Yeah, use an assignment rules. Let me try to show this. So you would going to learn a process called as sales process, service process. There you would going to learn something called as lead assignment rule, case assignment rules. So what really happens, what is the actual process is like, our clients doesn't actually create the cases inside Salesforce. They used to call, or they used to email you, or they used to go to your website. There are 2 to 3 different ways a case could be registered. So a person could make a call. Somebody of your from your CSR team, from the customer service representative team, they would pick up a call. They would talk to the customer. What is the problem that you are facing about? And I mean, on behalf of this customer, I mean, this person, this is a customer. On behalf of this person, this is our CSR would register a case inside Salesforce. So this is the usual process. You are going to learn this later on in a topic called as assignment rule. So let's consider that on behalf of that customer, a case has been registered. A case has been registered. There is a customer who is facing certain difficulties with one of our product, right? There is one product who he purchased that, but he's facing certain difficulty. So he raised a case. Right? So whenever a case has been registered, for example, this is the email ID. For example, if this is the email ID, or I shall register a new case for this. Let me go with case. The email ID, it would going to take it from the contact. It would going to take it contact from, for example, if I take this Jake record. So whatever would be the Jake's email ID, that it would automatically going to take it. So I'll have to go with contacts and all contacts like Jake, James, Ashley, whatever. Let's consider that this is the contact. This is the contact who has raised a case. This is the contact. Take it, James, Ashley, James. So Ashley has, raised a case about a product that she purchased it in the past few months, and now she's facing certain difficulties with that product. So she raised a case. So our system should automatically generate an email, one acknowledgement email, that dear Ashley, and thank you for registering the case with us. And we, or maybe whatever the details the problem you describe it to us, we have taken all those details, and we have assigned your case to a particular engineer, somebody, a representative of us maybe would going to contact you shortly, and we are for sure going to resolve this very soon. So this should happen. This should happen every time, and this would make that customer feel like, okay, you are following, you're giving the proper acknowledgements of everything. This would keep your customers updated that this is something, okay, I understand that you are facing the problem, we registered, we assign an engineer based on this, he'll going to contact you very soon, like something like that. So this is this is a general mechanism. You guys have seen this. The only worst part was like, we were using their SaaS. Now we are designing something. I mean, we so many times probably like you registered for something, or maybe like you do your travel bookings, right? There that time as well, you got some certain system generated email that your booking is confirmed, and these are some of the details. Like if you book certain hotels, you book your or whatever the kind of travel eternally, you're booking a travel tickets, maybe flight or cab booking. You got a receipt from them, right? But that is what, that's an acknowledgement. And that is system generated. Nobody actually sitting and typing all this for you. This is not a manual effort. Their CRM is actually working like this. As soon as a case record, as soon as a lead record, account record, or maybe a booking or something else, a record is being created, let's fire an email. And let's give an acknowledgement to that customer that this is something that we just now have been created. A case have been created. A booking has been created. And transition has been initiated. Whatever it could be, we have to provide certain acknowledgements to our customers. Right. So that is what is a similar kind of example. Okay, if a customer raises a case record has been created inside case object, a new record has been created. So we should deliver him one email mentioning all of the acknowledgements that your case has been registered successfully inside database. And this is what the details, case number, whatever, right? So this is what I'm just trying to explain you the template, right? Trying to explain you the use case. So how to do that? Let me now show you. So what we did is like, I already have everything with us. I'll just copy and paste it. So first of all, let me go with setup, and then go with communication templates in the administrator menu, and then go with classic email templates. Now here I would be designing a new template, right? I'm not using any standard. I'm not making changes in any standard, right? Rather, I'm designing my own custom email template. So I'll go with new email template. These are the 4 different types of templates. Text, HTML by using classic letterhead, custom without using letterhead, and visual force. I'll go with text, right? Text and next. Now, so you can decide on which this email template should be stored inside which folder. So I'm making it inside 208. I'm making it available for use. That is very essential. That is very essential. Give the name. I'm giving the name as, for example, new case registration notification. All right. Whenever a new case has been registered, we should notify. We should notify, and that is why I'm giving the names. And you can select anything. You can select anything, but the name should be more revealing. The name should explain what this template is used for. Now the subject and the body. This is something what I was trying कि ये मैं पहले से जो निकाल रखा है इसी को मैं कॉपी कर लेता हूँ. What would be my subject? Acknowledgements. Your case has been registered successfully. See, everything over here is static. I am hard coding everything. Dear Rose Gonzalez and everything. You know, everything I'm making it hard coded. I'm making it hard coded. But later on in tomorrow's session, we would going to understand how could we capture these details. You know, how could we capture these details dynamically from database? This time you actually have to write it. You have to write the name of customers, their case numbers, and everything. But we can make it. You know, we can whatever is there inside database, we could capture it, and we could capture it dynamically. I'll show you that way. But right now, let's first of all understand how statically we would design this, right? All right. So this is my subject. This is my email body. This email template would going to be stored inside this folder. Let me now save it. So now this email template has been created. This email template has been created. Let's time is to test it. I'll go with this email ID. All right. What happened? Anyways, so this is the email template. This is the email template I have created. All right. Now let me test it. So how to test that? I mean, अभी तो अपन इसको manually करेंगे. बाद में the same thing I would show you the automation for this. And there would be no manual efforts into this. अभी लेकिन manual करना है. So there's a button over here. Send, test, and verify merge fields. Just go with this. Go with this, right? And give that email ID over here where you wanted to fire this email. So I'm firing this on to sfdckasim@gmail.com. Now, this is important. Huh? This is important. If you forgot this, it would not fire. And okay. Let's now come to this. Let me refresh it once. Once again, let me try this. sfdckasim@gmail.com. All right, then let's wait for some time, or let me try with some another email ID. Let me once again test it. चलो मैं log download करता हूँ. Let me see what is happening. Why this is not coming. Let me download the logs. Email log would indicate what is happening to this, why it's not coming up. When this log would appear, अभी तो मैंने request किया है, जब अभी internal it is preparing the log. When this has been completed, this log would come up over here in a form of zip file. We have to download and unzip, and then we could see what is wrong that happened, why the email is not coming up. So this is the way to cross verify. It is taking time to generate. Maybe this is issues with Salesforce server. Let's wait for some time. This happens, this happens. This is not the first time it is happening. This happens. Hmm. This is something called as email log. Let me open this log and let's see what is happening. Twenty-three, 30, 30, 30, 11. Delivered, read, delivered, SFBC. Retry count 0. Verified, unverified. See, delivered. Receive, delivered. 628. Let me check with the spam folders. Because वहां तो दिखा रहा है ऐसा कि receive हुआ है. See, that was the reason. That was the reason we were not getting this into inbox. It actually has been delivered to spam. And this is why, because your mail server, this Gmail server identified this as something else. So I would go and report not an spam. When you report not at an spam, this would go to your inbox. So actually this is the reason. See, D matlab deliver hota hai, R matlab received hota hai, received and delivered, right? So when it is received matlab आपने देख लिया है उसको, receive, और deliver matlab जब आपने open किया उसको, receive matlab just receive हुआ है. So here it was mentioning कि ये particular email जो है वो receive हो गया, deliver भी हो गया, but यहाँ हमको नहीं मिल रहा था, तो that was the reason why we are not getting, वो spam में गया था. Alright ना, but अभी जैसे मैंने कि I देखो 3 ईमेल है, तो I acknowledge कि this is not an spam, तो इसके बाद जब कभी भी next time हम fire करेंगे, that would directly come to our inbox, right? हाँ, तो this is what the content is. This is what the content is. Dear Rose Gonzalez, ठीक है, and thank you for contacting and raise us the complaint. See, this is the email that we just have. I think that also have been delivered to second email ID. Let me try with that as well. But for that, I have to go with spam once again. See, training batch 2. I mean, this organization from which the email ID from where you created your account, it would come with that email ID only, right? And this has directly been delivered from the Salesforce. See, this has directly been delivered from the Salesforce, right? Now, once you reported that this is not an spam, it would come to your inbox. It would come to your inbox. So this is the way to send an email from the Salesforce. This is the way to send the email from the Salesforce. I can try with something else as well. Let me go with like I can close this. We can make certain changes and then we could also fire this email. Let me edit it. Let me edit and make it. Dear Ramesh Tripathi. All right. Thank you for raising in cases and all that. Let me now just save this. And let me now send test and verify, send an email to SFDC Qasim. SFDC Qasim, and let me now save this, right? So let's go to that email. See, now it has directly come to the inbox because you reported spam, right? You reported this not an spam. So now it comes to your inbox directly, right? So dear Rose Gonzalez, I think the last one is the BNet one, this one. Dear Ramesh Tripathi and all that, right? So this is the way in Salesforce, this is the way in Salesforce to send an email. But that is manual approach. This one is manual. We're going to learn this automated as well, but uske pehle apne ko email template pura khatam karna hai. So by today, what you learn in, this is the static content. This is in hard coded content. By tomorrow's session, we would going to see, how we can automate this, how we can get this from Salesforce object dynamically at runtime. And we certainly would not going to write anything. These data messages, obviously we are going to write it, but the values like, Ramesh Tripathi, your case number, and now whatever the field values, we are going to capture them directly from the database. So how to do that? There's a concept called as merge fields. Merge fields. So what is that merge field? It's a very small JavaScript, and this would facilitate you. So, to get data dynamically, to get the records dynamically, the values dynamically. So how to do that would be a part of discussion for tomorrow, right? That's all for today. Go and practice this. Go and practice this. Try to, you will have this email. You can design your own subject and content as well, and you can fire and check it, right? So do the practice onto this. Tomorrow would be like email log ho gaya. Tomorrow would be like, I'm going to take this. I'm going to start with the concept of merge fields. And that's all for today. Yes. Any questions? You can please unmute yourself now. Yes. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, then.